Welcome to Date with Danu, right here on Hi TV, your luxury channel. Thank you so very much for tuning in. And today is a very special show for me. The people who I have as guests are literally family. So it feels like I'm just going to have a chat. Simple as that. Let's get on with the show. Today on the show, I have a gentleman who has been making every moment very special for generations now. 96 years in the industry, and right now he's making a bit of a shift. With him, I have his beautiful wife, who I actually consider my mum, Upeksha. I think she is a strength who sort of keeps everything together and at sometimes sane. We'll speak more with them today.
Hi, I'm Jehan Wijayaratne. I'm here to be on Date with Danu, one of the best shows that I think, in my opinion, I enjoy watching. I watched Date with Danu and I enjoyed watching his shows mainly because it's so interesting, and his spontaneous questions and the liveliness about him, and every time he does a show, it's really enjoyable. I love it. Talking about Danu, one of the craziest guys I have ever met. And, I've come to know him so closely, and a beautiful soul, one of the finest human beings that I have met. And I wish he was born in America. It's not that we haven't lost him, but his potential could have been much better there. He's an international presenter. I keep telling him.
Hi, I'm Upeksha and I'm here to go on a date with Danu. I think Date with Danu is a brilliant show. Danu especially brings out different sides of people that I think normally people wouldn't see so much. Danu, lots and lots of things to say. Amazing, infectious laugh, kills me when he laughs. He's also one of the most sensitive and very, I don't know the word, but he's like a third son where I'm concerned. Yeah, cute guy.
So I have Jehan Wijayaratne and Upeksha Wijayaratne on the show. I've never called you all by your full names ever in my life. It sounds really odd. Just to keep professional levels here, I shall just say Jehan and Upeksha, but I find it very hard. At some point, I'm going to shift, so bear with me. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here. So let's start with Uncle Jehan.
Yes.
So you have been in the industry in the photography industry for over how many years? You started when you were very young.
Yes.
And you have a huge legacy in terms of when they say, oh, Jonathan's took the picture, there's such a prestige to it. Mm-hmm. How did this come about? How did your grandfather start this, and how did that legacy stay on for so long?
Well, if you really look at it, my grandfather, when I used to ask him about how everything started years ago, he was a freelance photographer first.
Okay.
And then he decided to start on his own. He actually started Jonathan's with his elder brother, who later on started his own studio called John and Company in Norelia. And Jonathan's, my grandfather started Jonathan's in 1924.
Right.
Now, he used to always tell us that when you do something, you have to make sure, end of the day, that the customer is happy. So, if you look at that, the quality is the most key, the key to any business. And that was one of the things that it was sort of instilled in us, that even when I started the business with my father, those were the guidelines, you know, to make sure that time, the quality, and the customer satisfaction. So if we do that, I guess that's a story that is
Needed.
why we are still here,
Yeah.
even after 96 years.
That's amazing. 4 more years and you'll be 100.
Yes.
Now, Upeksha. Now, Auntie, you got married to him with a few taboo over the fact that your family was not for it. It was a true love story, like how Hindi films could be made based on your love story. But how did you end up being a part of this? And you were one of the first female photographers to literally man a complete wedding.
Actually, Danu, I loved photography as a child. So I was one of these kids. My mum gave me a very old film camera when I was 7 years old. And we used to travel a lot. So my mum loved traveling. And she was also an ardent photographer, loved her photography too. So I think for me, before I met Jehan, I was already into photography.
Yeah, but not on a professional level.
No.
Yeah.
And I think to date, I think of it as a profession, but it's more the fact that I love taking pictures. Okay, and studio, obviously after marrying Jehan, and I got involved with him very young.
Yes.
So my parents had a fit.
She was only 14 when I met her.
It was like, wow, disaster.
Can't take him to any school
Yeah,
these
yeah. Exactly, right. And now sometimes when I think with my own kids, and I keep telling him, man, what you did was so wrong.
No, I didn't do anything wrong there. I saw her, I was talking to her, and then I realized she was liking me, and then I said, okay, you go back to England, and then you make sure you study, and then all that. I'll see you in a while.
Proper guidelines given. Yeah,
Guidelines.
So it was
and
like,
guidance.
more letters that we were, there was no Facebook or anything like that at that
But
time.
what's amazing is the fact that now you have 3 kids and you guys have been together for so long, and that's what matters the most. Yeah. Now, we are going to be introducing another guest on this show. Now, he is someone who I highly respect for the fact that he is an entertainer who defined what Sri Lankan entertainment should be. He has made us all dance. Wherever you are, in what part of the world, you miss a song that he sang. That's how it is. When you say Sri Lanka, play one of his songs, man. That's what makes us, go crazy on the dance floor. Up to date, he has that power in him. I'm so happy to have him once again on the show, the one and only Sunil Perera.
I'm a musician, and my name is Ivo Sylvester Sunil Perera, and I'm here to go on a date with Danu. Well, I have been on this show before. Well, this particular program is all about general life, and it's done in a very casual manner. And Danu is very good at doing that kind of thing, and he has been doing this for quite a while. And I hope today's one is also going to be interesting.
So, few clarifications. Although Uncle Jehan met Upeksha when he was 14, he let her study and come to legal marriage age before they got married. Just so, because these two are here, they are both, they are connected in terms of finding young girls. All right, so how does this friendship between Sunil and Jehan, how, of course, both of y'all come from a wedding industry. How did y'all meet, and y'all have such great history?
He was involved in advertising at the time. Not that, I mean, we were involved in doing a lot of commercials and all that. So, I mean, the agency put him through to us to get a commercial for Jonathan's, his studio. That's how we met.
Right, and this is how many years ago?
Oh, I think
Must have been about 30?
30, yeah.
30 years
Roughly
ago?
about 30
Or
years.
more?
Yeah, 30 or more.
And up to date, many models will never get a chance of the amount of endorsements you have done. not even supermodels would have ever got a chance.
Well, this is the 50th year of the Gypsies.
Yeah.
I've been
There you
in
go.
the industry for last 50 years.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
That's a brand, a super
Yeah.
brand.
So now, let's speak a little bit about this art industry today. As someone who has been in it for so long, and you would have seen musicians from literally from nothing to something and eventually becoming nothing. Like you have seen them all.
Yeah.
How has this industry changed from the time when, when the small, when there were just a few channels on TV, when each song was so well celebrated? Today, a hit is just trending on YouTube for 2 days and that's it. People don't even know what the song was.
Yeah, no, of course, if you take music, if you take the radio, there was only SLBC at the time.
SLBC at the time, yeah.
So, if there was a good song, it just got, rated highly.
At the same time, there are so many artists now,
Yeah.
not just one or two. Only thing, during the early 70s, like the singular pop thing was just emerging, like with Clarence's thing and all that. So, we were initially involved in doing a lot of covers, Western music, but we found it very hard to sort of reach out to the masses with English music. That was one of the reasons why we thought that we should be writing our own material and singular music. And that's how we started. It was due to all singular pop emerging in the English radio also played a lot of singular music.
Yeah,
Played
of
a lot
course.
of singular.
He was
And also you made it
very
very colloquial. The lyrics were very colloquial, which
Yeah.
made it so
Yeah.
much more easier for
Yeah.
That's right,
even for
yeah.
everyone to understand. Now, you also come from a bit of a film background, no? Your grandma was the first ever person who did
My
a...
mum.
her mum.
Your mum?
Yeah.
It was
My
your
mum was the first female scriptwriter in Sri Lanka.
Wow. And that film is not...
And it was called, the film she produced and she wrote was called Sampatha.
Produced by the father, your
Produced by
grandfather.
my grandfather.
and produced by your... or directed by your mum?
Directed
No,
and
directed
my mum
by
wrote
someone
the
else.
Script.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we can't track this movie down because of the 83 riots.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yeah.
it was
We
What's
lost
What's the movie?
Sampatha.
Sampatha.
Yeah.
Who acted in there?
Eddie Jamanu,
Eddie
Rukmini
Jamanu,
Devi,
Rukmini Devi,
Wow.
yeah.
Sandhya Kumari.
Sandhya Kumari was there. So yeah, I
Big
have
cast.
pictures of the film, like what got taken, those black and white
Yeah.
pictures,
Sandhya
but
Kumari
the
was
film.
Oh, beautiful.
a bit
And it
sort
was
of
the first
different
movie
vibe,
of Sadit Sandhu.
Oh, laughing at that. Let's just get into a break. We'll see you on the other side. Do
He was
stick around.
introduced.
What year was that?
I think
60s.
60s, 60s.
And it's time to play one word.
3, 2, 1. One word.
All right, I'm going to ask you all 10 questions. Whoever gets in the answers, who locks in the highest amount of answers, will win. Ready?
Yep.
Which do you prefer, logic or creativity?
Creativity.
Creativity.
Which is more preferable, being nice or being fair?
Being fair.
Fair.
Being
Books or magazine?
Books.
TV shows or movies?
Movies.
Love or money?
Love.
Love and
definitely.
money together.
Odd numbers or even numbers?
Okay.
Twitter, Facebook or Instagram?
And Instagram.
Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
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 Do you believe in something after death?
No.
Yeah.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Tea.
I actually feel that Sunil won.
Good. Okay.
I feel that he This is for you. This is actually premium tea, by the way. You can have it. I will just leave it here for now.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
We'll just continue with our chat and I'll give
Luckily,
it
he
to you
said tea.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, I don't drink coffee that much.
Good.
You know,
Well done. Well
if he
done.
said coffee, I would have taken it.
Take her.
I'm a tea man.
Yeah, that's great. So now let's speak a little bit about this shift. So Jehan has now decided to move into politics, but you have been a part of many campaigns and helped a lot of politicians for years now.
Yeah.
But now you have taken this decision, and it's a bit of a risky, scary decision for a lot of people.
Yeah.
How did you make your mind up to get into this?
You know, like you said before, I have been helping a lot of politicians from both sides, you know, because some have been very close friends. And most of the time, I have expected them to do the right thing. But as you know, it has not been so. I'm going to reveal something today, but I'm not going to say names.
Okay.
The worst thing or the worst time that I realized I must go and do something is one particular election finished, I helped this person and he became a minister, and I went to his ministry to congratulate him. I congratulated him on the phone, but he said, come over to the ministry. So I went. And I was having a chat and he said, he got someone to go out and close the door. And then he told me, I was waiting till you came. I said, I was coming anyway. And then he said, no, I have a very urgent deal to do. There is an urgent tender. You go and find out all the details and you keep $5 on each, and this is an X amount. And I was listening to him, and this person was a very vociferous politician. Okay. And then he said, end of the day, we might be able to do about $10 million. Right?
And this is like
I'm
a
sorry,
day after they got into the ministry.
This is about a week after he was there. I looked at him, I just smiled and I said, I think you got the wrong person to ask for. I said, you have known me so many years, you should know that I'm not that type. I said, I will never get involved, and I said, I'm very sad that you are asking me this particular thing, because I thought you were so different from the others. And I said, sorry, I know you are very embarrassed at this. I said, you find somebody else. And I said, all the best, and I walked out.
If you know who this person is, please leave a comment at the bottom. I'm not
going to tell you the year or the person's name, because the person, when he sees me now, he always tries to avoid me.
Obviously, it's like a bit of a guilt. Sunil, I'm sure you would have got lots of offers to enter politics in many ways than one.
Yeah. The thing is, I personally feel that I don't have the knowledge in the first place. And
You're the only one who has ever said it. All the ones who are just getting there.
Even if you want to do something, I only want proper systems introduced to this country.
Exactly.
But even if you have the heart to do it, once you get in there, you can't run the way you want it to run, because it is in total disarray, Sri Lankan political situation. So even if you really want to do something, you won't be able to do it. So why get into that?
Do you feel it's the party leaders who create this problem, or the political system is such?
System is such, everybody, nobody wants to sort of do something that's going to put, to introduce proper systems. What we don't have is proper systems. The proper system, when you don't have a proper system, naturally, the whole thing will collapse.
Now, you know, when they say when you get into politics, you sort of drag everyone with you in it. That's how politics work. And when I had Dr. Harsha De Silva here, I asked him, I said, I still remember speaking to his wife, and I said, what were your thoughts? I said, please tell him to leave his politics out at the door and come, never bring it inside the house. That was her answer. What was your take on it? Because you have a big part to play in it. You have no choice in the sense, like, you will support him as the person who you love so much. But what is your take on your half getting into politics?
This time I had literally no choice. Years ago when he wanted to get in, I was like, yeah, that's fine, but I'm going back off to Australia with the kids. They were small. But this time around, obviously, like you said, I will support him. And I also feel, like what Sunil said, I know there's no system, but I think it's worth a fight for a change for a system to work, because now we have adult children and they are the future here, right? So what I look at is, in anything that you do, if you stand up and fight for it, that change will happen. So
at least it has to start from somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
but you are a British citizen, and
Yes.
uncle, you had many a chance to get any
Yeah.
other passport except the Sri Lankan passport. But you went to all these countries, stayed there, and came back with your Sri Lankan passport.
he refused now.
Yeah.
He's a British citizen, and my kids are Australian. He had the chance to become a British citizen
Or an Australian citizen.
or an Australian citizen,
But you never did.
So
And
when
so-
we go on trips,
Only he is applying for
so he
these.
goes down that line where he has to stand for hours on the Sri Lankan passport, and we just
Cruise through.
Cruise through and then-
But you did all of this knowing that one day you will want to serve this country.
You know, there's something that I never told them until very recently. Back of my mind, I always had this thing, you know, inside me. I want to come back and do something for my country. I mean, in the sense that a lot of international leaders have influenced me, you know, and some of the local ones as well. So it's not a passion as such, but then to feel, you know, when I used to live in Australia, so when we walk about, I used to always look at all these buildings and the orderly manner that everything happens there. And then you think, why on earth can't we get it together?
Yeah.
Okay? And then you come back, you know, as soon as you land at Kadunayaka, you come out, and then you're
The
in this
chaos
the
starts.
chaos starts.
And they tell you to move the trolley first.
But the very but you know the worst part is the very same people, 3.5 hour flight goes to Singapore, and they are all very orderly.
Yeah.
So that means we can change the system. So like Sunil said, let me first tell you, he would have had many more offers. Even though he says, I don't have the knowledge, I know
Of
he has
course.
the knowledge.
You have the heart to do it. That's true. I still agree with you. But you can't do it.
I somehow
can't do
feel
it.
that this show
You
is
can't do
just
it.
moving
No,
away
no,
from
no.
You can't introduce, now let's say you want this to happen this way, you want to introduce a proper system.
Exactly.
You will not be allowed to do that. That is the
No,
thing.
sir,
That's the
the-
thing.
this
I'm going to
is
talk
one
more
of the-
about it. Can we just quickly go into a break and come
Yeah,
back?
okay,
All right, this will be quite interesting. Okay, how is the system going to be changed is one question. And the other thing, Jehan had an option of becoming either a movie star or a politician. He kept the movie star look, and now he's entering politics. We'll speak more when we do come back. Okay, there was a very heated conversation before while we were having the break. So I'm going to get to that in a bit. But right now, let's just play a game. This hot seat is not an easy one, so get ready.
Okay.
All right. Who shall I start with? I'll start with Jehan.
Okay.
All right. You have 3 kids: Ryan, Jonathan, Chanel.
You got it wrong. Jonathan,
Order,
Ryan, and
yeah.
or the order.
But I've always kept Ryan. You know, if you're wondering how do I know them, it's because they're the ones who always take the photographs for this. I've been a part of their life for the past 6 years, and I'm not letting them go. I've just held on to this part of the family very strong. All right, once again. You have 3 kids: Jonathan, Ryan, Chanel. Got the order right?
Right.
In your opinion, name the one who you think is the most artistic one.
Well, I can't pick one because
This question is to pick one.
No, how can I do that? I'll be in big trouble if I do that. No, they're all three. I mean, I'm blessed in that sense that all three are talented in their own way.
Okay. A world leader that has inspired you the most.
Oh, Mahatma Gandhi, no one else.
If you were to choose your favorite president out of the three, who would it be and why? MR, CBK, MY3.
I can't pick any one of them.
Mervyn Silva, Upeksha, better known as Paba,
Okay, I thought you were different.
Vasantha Senanayaka, Rosi Senanayaka. Who would you bring back into the parliament and why?
If all of them were rejected by the people, I don't think I would want to bring any one of them in.
Danushri Costa, Dimitri, Studio 3000. Who would you recommend if you were booked for a wedding on the same date?
All three very talented photographers and very good friends as well. And picking one would be very unfair.
You are very new to... This is not a Miss World pageant.
No, but I mean, they are my brothers in the industry. I can't.
Can't, man.
I can't do
Don't
that.
want to hurt.
Don't want to hurt anyone. They're all three, I mean, brilliant photographers.
I'm coming to you now. Not worth my time printing these questions. Name your all-time favorite beauty queen who you have photographed.
Jacqueline.
Jehan in Parliament, Jehan in business. What would you remember the most about him if he gets into Parliament?
If he gets into Parliament, probably Jehan in business.
Lo Ching Wong, Brian Kirkowen, Senaka De Silva. Who is your favorite fashion choreographer?
I have known Brian very closely, so maybe Brian.
If there's one thing we will never know about Jehan, what would it be?
Oh, wow. There would be so many stuff. Your show doesn't have enough time for me to tell.
Just one thing.
Oh, without embarrassing him too much?
Say something nice.
He's like already sweating. I'll stick to food. He used to love prawns, but he can't eat it anymore.
Okay. If you were to relocate back into one of the two countries that you have been in, you will pick Australia or England.
Australia.
Right. Mr. Sunil, now it's over to you. Bhatia, Santush, Lantra or Gayan. Rank the voices according to your preference.
Well, all three parties, they are talented in their own way. You can't sort of say this voice is the best. Because every voice is different. It has its own, what do you call, the color, the tone and everything. So you can't sort of say this particular voice is better than this one.
Your favorite voice?
No, I would say all three are good. It all depends on what kind of creativity you have in you to put out songs. I mean, your own thing. In that sense, I think Bhati Santosh, they have done quite a lot of their own material, and they have been there with the people.
Done. Okay. Another question. Bhatia, Santosh, Iraj. Who will do better in politics?
None.
In your opinion, did we uphold democracy with our previous government and president?
Well, I'm totally pissed off with the whole crowd. So I don't want to say anything about the entire situation in whole Sri Lanka, I mean, for the last 72 years, not just particularly this particular party who came into power. The whole scenario for the last 72 years is totally cockeyed.
Okay. If you could take only one thing when you leave home, what would that one thing be?
My ID card, NIC.
If a movie was to be made about Sri Lankan politics, what would you name it?
Appata puthe magak nathe.
Okay, cool. All right. We'll come back with more. Do stay tuned. This is A Date with Danu. Welcome back to the show. It's A Date with Danu in conversation with Sunil, Jehan and Upeksha. Thank you so very much for tuning in. So we are talking about entering politics. Now, you both had a conversation, which I wanted to know. You said he definitely has the heart. Who? Jehan has the heart to be in politics.
The desire to do something good.
But is it a practical thing?
It's not a practical thing. It's not a practical thing because the whole crowd there, when they don't want to change, entire political segment, I mean people who are involved in politics right now, when they don't want changes, how can he alone do that? He won't be able to do it. So many people have come there thinking that they might be able to sort of change it around for the better, but none of them have been successful so far. So it's good, I wish him all the best, but the thing is, you won't be able to change it for the simple reason because these people who are so corrupt, they won't let you do it.
No, it's fair. What he says is because he has been around. I guess he has known more politicians than myself actually. And on that, he would say, you can't change the system. But if we keep on thinking like that,
you have to keep fighting, yeah.
Okay, then we won't be able to do anything. But I think the most important factor here is the people the voter has to decide whom they should vote for. Not only the party, but the choice of people that they bring into parliament. Because as you know, we have all seen during the last 4.5 years, how politicians, the parliamentarians have behaved themselves in an august assembly like that.
Talking about this genuine people, running a business of your own is a huge task today, and especially I think Sunil will agree as well, because you all are all self-made entrepreneurs. You all created your own system and you all created your own path to earn your money. And when you do that, it becomes one of the dire situations when you have to, like, when there's like a bomb like what happened last year, then there's an issue like COVID-19. End of the day, it all boils down to you somehow paying your salaries to the people who are depending on you.
Right.
Now, you are very passionate about the fact that, you want to work towards the young entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs who are doing things by themselves. I want to know this from two points of view. Maybe from you, being married to him for so long, what are the challenges that he has faced in running a family-owned organization? Because it becomes so hard, because you have not only the operational side too, there's also opinions of family members that will come along. How do you all handle that? And you being an outsider coming in.
Yeah, for us, I think it worked good in the sense that he respects most of the opinions that we have. Like, especially like before the kids came into the business, it used to be just the two of us. And whatever changes that I would propose to him, he wouldn't shut it down, he'd consider it. And he was willing to take a chance in doing that change, right? So that's where, like, if we look at what Sunil says in the sense of, change is hard because this is what people are used to. I personally believe, with what Jehan has also done with the business, the way we handle our team at work, and the lifelong friendships that we've made with across the board, like just with the customers and even our employees, right? So I personally feel that if you do establish that ground for them to have stability, and you uplift their lives, because some of our guys who start initially, they have very small beginnings, but now they do well, right? So I feel if you do help to enhance their lives, then you will be able to do this change. And with him, he's open for change.
So one of the things that I said that, everyone has a little look and feel to him. Uncle has this, Jehan has this Wijayaratne look going for the longest time. So lots of people would have seen your poster and they have said, Nalu So you had this Nalua chance in your life.
Yeah, actually, when I was, I joined my business soon after school, right?
Yeah.
And I used to have a lot of customers, some film directors, cinematographers, so many people sort of, come in and out. And one day, one of these guys said, "Would you like to act?" I said, "Yeah, but the thing is, I can't leave this place because I'm running a business."
They should have made the movie about this.
Yeah,
You fall in love with somebody who comes as a customer.
Yeah. And I lost my father when I was very young. And I had a mother, a school-going brother, and an unmarried sister. All that, responsibilities. And I put this across to someone and said, "You know what, this guy came and asked me to act in a film." He said, "Are you crazy?" I said, "Why?" He said, you know how much they pay? You hardly get paid, and then you have to go and spend so many days doing movies, and you will go bankrupt here. So I had to sort of, let it go. But, being in that film-loving kind of thing, I really wanted to. But I had to say, I acted in a teledrama a long time ago. And that was going to be the first teledrama that was going to release in Sri Lanka. But D.B. Nihal Singh's one, beat us. The one that I acted was produced by Salasine. It was under the Mahavali ministry, under Gamini Sanaka's ministry. The film production company was called Salasine. And the name of that teledrama was Jayagrahane.
And what did you play?
I was supposed to play a planter kind of thing because I had a small moustache at the time.
You had the 70s look good.
And this director said, "I'll give you that role." But by the time I came to the set, I had forgotten about it. I had shaved. And then he said, "You look too young to do that role." Then he said, "No, I got a brilliant one here. You act as one of the girls, Gamevan's, nice-looking girl's boyfriend," and I acted in it. And this was like, I don't know whether you remember actors like J. Jayawardena, Sunil Perera, J. Jayawardena acting. Then Wijayaratne, Gamini Samarakon, Sureni Senrat, that kind of, long time ago this was.
Fabulous. Well, now that you're entering politics, I thought I should test your knowledge on a few things.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I have a few basic grade 5 general knowledge questions.
A grade 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the qualification go with there?
No. If we know this, we are ready to put you through. Okay? So we are going to play this with most of the candidates who are coming in on the show. So let's try this game out. This is only for Jehan.
Okay.
All right. What is the name of King Kasyap's fortress?
Wow, King Kasyap's fortress. Absolutely no knowledge.
It's easier.
Even I knew that. Come on.
How many monsoon seasons are there in Sri Lanka?
There is 2.
Well done. How many districts are there in Sri Lanka?
22.
25.
Are you sure?
Who is correct now?
22 districts, no?
Isn't it 25 districts with 9 provinces?
No, I think it's 22.
What is the national game of Sri Lanka?
Obviously cricket.
No! It's volleyball.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Cricket is our favorite game. Volleyball is our national game.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So that
goodness.
means look at the like he says, the system is wrong. We haven't.
We have not addressed volleyball or even
Volleyball
given them
at
any
all.
attention. Poor souls, they are playing by themselves in a corner somewhere. There you go.
Volleyball.
You think you know is, what's that called? Let's play more, of course, when we do come back. Do stick around, it's time for a break. All right, let's ask some very sticky questions before we wrap this show up.
Sticky Situ.
So every election, we have more promises that are given to us, new things that we look forward to. Sunil, you have seen many promises.
Yeah.
Tell me your opinion about these, we'll bring justice about the bond scam. We will bring to light who sort of killed a few of these well-known faces of our country. These promises have been given. And why are they never accomplished? And how do people still end up falling for these things?
I think the promises and certain things will never come into light, because for the simple reason, all these people, what they do is, when they come into power, they safeguard the other. The previous people who did all the wrong, they'll somehow cover him, and he'll never go to jail. Tell me, are there any politicians who have been to jail big time?
No.
For a long period? No, never. It will never happen, because all these people are rogues, in my opinion. So one party promised certain things about the bond scam. That will never happen. That will never happen. Certain person is about the bond scam involved. They said that no sooner they come into power, going to put him behind bars. That will never happen, because he promised certain things before the person who was involved in the bond scam, he promised certain things that he'll put all these people, they called it the Yahapalaniya, and we fell for it. And he safeguarded all the culprits who were involved in all wrongdoings. And
have you been questioned for being open and very vocal about your opinions?
No, yes. Question means not serious through CID or anything like that, but they don't like that. Right. Criticism about something is to better something. Even if I say, Danu, this program should be done in this manner, if you are going to get angry with me,
that's just my stupidity.
Yeah, stupidity. But if you think, yes, Sunil, but we can't, give me an answer. This is not that. You say the system is wrong, this is how you should do it. Say, for instance, an institution. How are you going to make this place a profitable institution? Do you have a plan? No, they don't have a plan. For the simple reason, they just put in people there. Where 25 people are needed, they put 250 people. Naturally, that institution is not going to survive. So it's going to collapse somehow.
Jehan, you have been a huge fan of the United National Party from the time you were very young. But right now you have taken a bit of a sidestep and you are contesting under a different party. Tell me about the reason why you didn't have the same belief in this party at this point.
Okay. I actually started running behind the UNP when I was 18 years old. So I've been influenced by the Wijayaratne government and with, of course, one of the greatest leaders that we lost at the time was Radhasinga Premadasa. The late great, I'd say, because the late President Radhasinga Premadasa is one person who actually looked into the poorest of the poor. He did something about the poor to uplift their lifestyle. What we have to understand is that the majority are poor. Okay, so like he said,
why?
The standards have to be lifted up. Okay, so it takes.
I need to put Sunil in the parliament to just ask questions.
Why?
Why not?
I don't know why. I don't know.
That's true.
No, why are we poor after 72 years?
Exactly. So no proper leadership and no proper national development plan.
So you feel that the leaders should give the young people a chance?
No. So let me finish with the UNP part of it. Now we had, I don't want to name names here, but our leadership for the last 26 years failed in the party. I of course stopped since 2001. I didn't go doing any politics at the time after that. But when I realized that the UNP needs a new leader, and I saw something totally different in Honorable Sajid Premadasa, I thought this is our last chance. That was one of the reasons why I supported him for the presidential elections. And then I was asked by one of the members whether I would like to come and contest. I said yes, and I applied. I didn't go through any influence. I went through the normal channel. I applied, I faced an interview, and then they chose me. I didn't even think I would get selected. But that's one of the reasons. So with proper leadership, I know Sunil is so disgusted, as he said, because this is the same thing everywhere. When I go house to house campaigns, people are disgusted. Why? Because there is no
They're
hope.
still in that stage.
So I tell them, that when they say there is no hope, I said, don't lose hope. We have to have some hope. This is the time to make that change. So I have so much confidence in Honorable Sajid Premadasa, and I feel that if we can set up government and he can become the Prime Minister, we can work along with President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. He's going to be here for the next 5 years. So it'll be a good combination.
All right. Now, the reason why this connection came about is the fact that Uncle Jehan on his Facebook made a statement about musicians in our country who we tend to forget. These are the people who have entertained us for so many years and will continue entertaining us. And there is around 400,000 or 40,000.
No, 42,000, more than 40,000 musicians out of
are
work
like
at the moment.
directly involved and directly affected because of COVID-19.
And indirectly, there are about more than 200,000.
That's because of all the families who depend on their salaries. So that's a post that went up, which Sunil here shared, and that's how this connection came about. And sometimes we think about always the big pictures, but sometimes the small pictures make the bigger puzzle. And I think entertainers are as equally important as doctors in a country, because if I have to die tomorrow, I rather listen to his song than actually go and sit in a OPD and wait and see what blood test I have to take, because I rather have a good time. So that's how important life is. Thank you for being on the show. I wish you all the very best. I'll start with you. Whenever I see you perform at a wedding, I'll always come and speak to you, because I'm actually like a few people who you feel like die-hard fans. He's one of those.
He's unique.
Yeah, and
he's
also
unique.
the fact that you have stayed relevant to date, that's a huge achievement. Like, nobody can make the grandfather, father and the child dance. Only you can do that. So kudos to that. I think through music you have educated so many people. Yeah, you made Kottamalli sexy men. What more can we ask for? Uncle Jehan, I know on a personal note, they are family to me. I go to their place literally every other day. I worked with them. I had the honor of working with their kids, because they are just absolutely talented. Half of what I am, I owe it to them always, because you can always be someone with so many visions in your mind, but you need somebody who will make it reality. And Ryan and Johnny have been by my side, literally they are the strength in what I do, and I owe a huge part of my life to them. And I have to say, more than anything, leave politics and all aside, these two people are so grounded and so loving, and whoever you are, if you walk into their house, you're sure to leave that house just too full and a bit too happy, and that's definitely a wonderful feeling. Thank you, and I wish you all the very best in whatever you do.
Thank you.
You'll always be loved and remembered by so many. So that's what's great. Auntie, you have a special spot in my life, and it's her birthday today. She is celebrating a birthday. This is the love to sacrifice the birthday and be here. A happy birthday from all of us here. You look phenomenal. Can never say you gave birth to 3 kids. That's another problem that Uncle is facing these days. So on that note, we need to wrap things up on the show. Thank you for all those who joined us. Until we see you with another cool episode to A Date with Danu. You have yourself a great one. Until then.